Hey guys, welcome to Into the Toy Box. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. Um, let's see here. We've got hopefully a good show for you guys tonight. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring out our co-host, Beta Ray Bob.
Hello. How goes
Hey,
it?
you doing all right tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm hopefully we'll talk about some Star Wars figures that
Hmm.
everybody potentially wants. Some of their favorites and we'll have some pictures of some of those. And so,
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
um, you know, I clearly Hasbro has to make them at some point in time, but
Yeah, but I mean I guess I could see their logic of the longer we string it out, the longer we keep people into the hobby. So
that's true. That's true. I mean, they have the Black Series, which I think what they've said or what people have said is you know they have two revenues there, the 4 inch and the 6 inch, and they figure they can
mm,
probably double up, with people. They feel like they can get money from, people to buy both because some people do, some people don't. But it's
mhm.
like, you know, that's why they don't make them all in one, size or the other because they want to get all the money pretty much. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
that's a for-profit company. So
Yeah, yeah. Which I understand, and I'm
mm,
I'm like, okay, I get it, but it's like once you've made the 6 inch figure, and it's been out for 6 months or so, then go ahead and bring out the 4 inch figure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
exactly. Yeah.
we all are aware of the game, so it's like just
Give us
play it
all
right.
the pieces. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But anyway, um, well, I guess let's look at the chat, I guess, and say
All
hello
right.
to,
Got
to
our
everyone
usual
there.
friends here. Ian, how you
Ian, what's
doing?
up, man?
Bjorn's here with us. Hey, hey.
Bjorn,
Defiant has arrived. Hey, oops.
hey, what's up? What's up?
And then we got some chit chat going on, which is good. Yes, feel free to do that. And we've also got Joel here. Hey, hey.
Joel. Joel gifted me a Gamorrean guard via
Oh,
Bjorn,
nice.
and so it's my first ever vintage collection Gamorrean guard, and I appreciate that. I, like I said, I've been saying for about 6 months or longer that I wish that Hasbro would reissue those guys again, um, just because we need them. I mean, there's people like me that
Mhm.
never bought any, or wasn't into it at the time when they were out, and so we need it. We need
Yeah.
reissues on some of these figures, especially the Gamorrean Guard, aka Joel's favorite figure of all time. I think it is.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
which
I wouldn't
it's a good
mind seeing
figure.
those Gamorrean guards from Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
And then they could probably use that same body for the Java
yeah,
version. Just give them
yeah.
some different deco and whatnot.
Well, I mean, Hasbro is doing. Hey, Chris, Hasbro is doing, the return to Tatooine right now, and I mean,
True.
technically, Tatooine was in Return of the Jedi as well, so it's like you could actually,
Hmm.
I mean, what are they
There's a
going to
lot that
do? What are they going to do when they want to start redoing the Jabba's, whole thing? Is it the return to Jabba, or are they going to do, or is it going to be the return to Tatooine Part Two? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think
Because
that anniversary of that is coming up pretty soon, so maybe
yeah.
they'll do like an anniversary of Return to the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Return
Speaking
to
of
the Jedi.
that, it was the Revenge of the Sith was came back to theaters this weekend.
Hmm.
Um, how many of you guys went and saw that? I wonder. Um,
I did not.
I didn't either because I'm gonna tell you, Order 66 is just too emotionally damaging to me to be able to see again. As far as in the theater. So, hey PLM,
Feel it.
uh,
Yeah. Well,
um,
that and I've got Disney Plus, so I can kind of watch it.
yeah, yeah, I get it, but it's more of a So it's like if it'd been a New Hope in the theater, I might would have gone to
Oh
see it. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
For sure. But the
Or
prequel, I just can't do it right now.
yeah. MCR, welcome.
MCR, hey, um,
Where's the good batch? Well, right here in the chat. All you guys are the good batch.
yeah, for sure. This is a good batch, all right.
We got Fat
Hey,
Red Pooh here with us. But
what's up, man? He's been the dungeon master. He's been dungeon mastering it up on the World Makers Consortium for the death races. So
this has been
he's been
fun
doing
to
a good
watch. I
job.
mean, they
He's
get
been
pretty brutal. Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, as I remember seeing you in the chat, it's like, hey guys, it is a death race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's
like,
like this is
yeah,
death racing, not patty cake
that's right.
racing. So
That's right.
yeah,
Task
that's for
Force,
figuring
what's up,
games is
man?
here with
What's
us.
up? Yeah. So anyway, it's been fun to see that. I know people are probably like, I wish we would change the dice roller because that guy sucks. But you know, it's we'll probably get it all figured out. Probably the last race or something. You
Yeah.
know.
No, I mean, most of the roles this past episode stayed in the box. So
Yeah, true.
hey,
Hey man,
so Mandalorian is here with us.
Mandalorian. Hey, if you guys get a minute, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, you know he live streams and stuff as well. So just give him a watch. You know, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah.
Thanks
Nebula
for
Nexus is
coming
here
by
with us
though.
too.
Hey, Nebulous Nexus, what's up, man? So yeah. Anyway, I guess you're sort of in a Star Wars theme right now. I guess right now.
Mhm.
With Andor coming out the past 3 episodes
Oh yeah, that
the
was
past week, and so man, I can't believe that such as. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. No
yeah.
spoilers here, okay?
No,
No spoilers
just,
here.
just I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the folks here have probably seen it already by now.
Probably so. I know not. I know not
And if
everybody
not,
has. I know not
get out
everybody
from under your
has,
rock
but
and
you know, it's definitely it's definitely a good show for sure.
oh yeah. I mean, some minor gripes, but nothing that really took me out of it.
Yeah, I
Or
was,
caused me to dislike it.
I was not really like super excited before. You know, it was like I was not like, oh my god, you know, Andor is going to be next week or anything like that. I wasn't really like super excited for that at that point in time. But once I started watching it, I was like, okay, I'm in it now. I can't wait to see, you know, what happens and, you know, a dice tower. Yeah, it could be an option. Could be. But anyway, yeah. So I'm liking it. Definitely can't wait to see what
Oh,
happens this next week. So
Bjorn has a good reminder here. The new Tales from the Underworld with Asajj and Bang
oh
or
yeah,
Cad Bang.
yeah, that should be pretty good. That should be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah. Anyway, it's some good shows right now, and so and also I know that it's not Star Wars or anything, but the Thunderbolts come out next week, and so I'm a
Yes.
huge Marvel fan. So it's like I cannot wait to go see that movie. Yes, I would say I'd
Thunderbolts
give two
and
thumbs
Andor.
up.
Yeah.
I'd give two thumbs up. MCR. I'm liking it. Um, this is the final season for Andor as well, so it's like you know it's
Mm-hmm.
going to lead up to Rogue One, so you know they only have so much they can do. But to me, it's kind of cool to see, you know, like how what happens in like the last episode. Will there be any surprises, you know, or anything like that, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah. After this season finishes, I'm probably going to go back and watch season 1, season 2, and
and Rogue
then Rogue
One,
One again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to
Um,
watch, see the whole story.
I mean, it's pretty good. Oh, I definitely have high hopes for
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. For me, I'm thinking it's going to be the best Marvel movie in like years, in my
I
opinion.
think it's going to be a great sequel to the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah,
Marvel movies.
yeah. I mean, I know that you know it's not exactly any. It's not like A-list characters or whatever, but I think with good writing, you can make the characters like you know A-list worthy. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
like I love Red Guardian. I love Yelena. and Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
Sure,
Yeah.
I even like Walker as the U.S. agent just because you know I just think that I like him kind of as a good bad guy, and so you know what
He's
it
kind of
actually
that
Universal
good, like,
Soldier,
like
but
jerk, you know? It's like, yeah, he's a jerk, but
that's
he's
right.
funny, especially the way they did him in, like, the comics for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, he was, like, such a
That's
guy.
right.
You were like, "I'm supposed to hate this guy, but he's kind of funny sometimes."
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so I think it's cool that in the comics, I know we're not really doing a comic show right now or anything, but in the comics, when the Thunderbolts originally came out, um, after, well, I'm not really going to spoil or anything, but they were bad guys, right? And so
Mm,
eventually Hawkeye took over the team and he ran the team for a while. And I think it's kind
mhm.
of cool that they have Winter Soldier is going to be the one who's kind of like running this team, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right. Now, I'm wondering, and this is a spoiler for the comics that came out in, like, what, the mid-90s, so spoiler alert.
yes, yeah,
Um, I'm hoping in the movie Zemo makes an appearance at some point because he was the original leader of the team. So
that's true. He sure
it's like,
was. Um,
oh,
I,
that
it's like I, I love the trailers that I've seen,
hmm
but I'm also hoping too that they definitely have some surprises, for
yeah.
for us too. So anyway,
Oh yeah, here's one. Yeah, that'd be an interesting character to bring into the MCU as Joel.
yeah. And so in the original comics, they were pretty much, when the first Thunderbolts run, it was like they were all villains, and so
Hmm
anyway, but as that the teams changed throughout the years, and so they had like the
Yeah.
different teams rosters and stuff. But yeah, anyway, but I'm super looking forward to this, and I know what I mentioned or saw Chris, the Thunderbolts were run led into the Dark Avengers. I don't want to say spoiler on this or not, but I think the asterisk is there for a reason, and
Oh, it's definitely there for a reason.
I have a friend of mine that's like, I'm betting money that after the first weekend or two of the Thunderbolts, it's going to turn into the Dark Avengers. And so I'm
Mm.
like, I mean, it's possible, but we'll see. You know. Anyway, all right. So I guess if without anything else, I
Yeah.
guess we'll get into this.
All righty. I know we
Let's
had some folks send in some of their picks, and we're gonna
That's
feature
right. That's
those
right.
here.
Um,
And if any of you have any in the comments that you want to shout out for
yeah, for sure, for
your
sure.
favorite character, feel free.
That's
We're not
right.
going to pull up a picture for them, but
Yeah. All right. So I guess our first picture here, Starboy Station. He wanted to get the Mud Trooper,
Mhm.
which I think that would be one of the easiest figures we could get, considering we basically have that figure now without the mask. Well, without that particular mask, and I guess
Mhm.
I mean, all they have to do is just throw one of the soft goods capes on it, and then throw a mask on it like that. Boom, there you go. That'd be a simple figure to push out. Um, I know people have made customs already of that guy in a vintage collection, and I think that in the Black Series, I think don't they have the Black Series Mud Trooper in the Black Series?
uh,
Maybe?
I I'm not 100% sure. I mean, probably because Black Series gets everybody,
Correct, right.
but I don't collect Black Series and
I
very
mean,
rarely keep up
I've
with
seen
what they.
people, with 6-inch figures that had like those masks and stuff. So I'm pretty sure.
Everyone's
Okay,
got to
there
say
you
it.
go.
Thank you,
So
Joel.
yeah, so if they make it Black Series, they might as well make it in um, vintage collection, the
Yeah, because
Lord
I mean they've
scale.
already got all the digital sculpting done. They just got to scale it down and
That's
maybe
right.
change out some of the articulation.
Yeah. Joel also selected these two guys, um, two tubes, and
Hmm.
I guess two tubes, Idrio and Benthic.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
so yeah, those would be great. Um, yeah, Chris, I'm right there with you, man. I think a Pont Corell would have been great to have been made um, because he was such a good bad guy, man. And so
Hmm.
you would think if they made him, they could maybe make an updated version of Dexter, you know. So anyway, I'd be down for those. I think a lot of people would. Um,
I mentioned there's very few characters that people wouldn't really be
yeah,
down
that's
for.
true.
Really.
That's
I
true.
mean, but
Yeah,
everybody's got their like picks of.
yeah,
I'd rather have this one before that one. You know.
that's right. Yeah, it's like it's going to take a while. What's up, Brad? Brad Toys Galaxy, everybody. And so yeah, I think that everybody would be ecstatic just to get everybody, But
Hmm.
anyway,
Well,
uh,
like back in the day, it's like if you had half a second of screen time, you got a figure.
right, right, right. Okay, so I think these, if I'm not mistaken, are from the Star Wars Holiday Special. I
Yes,
think
these were the bartenders.
yes, yeah, Krellman and Acmina, I guess, are their
That's
names.
how you pronounce it. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm just reading off here because I don't know these characters personally. I mean, I did watch the Christmas or the holiday special, but I watched it when it was actually live on TV,
Yeah.
and that was
Same here.
many, 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 many moons ago. So
Yeah. It's
forgive me
a
if I
few
don't
years
remember.
back.
Yeah, it was a long, long time ago when it got too far, far away. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. I'm not sure if Joel picked this character out or not.
Yes,
Um,
this is one of Joel's Wald
okay,
from
okay,
the Phantom Menace.
yeah. This one
Uh,
would be this one would be an easy one to do potentially. You put Rodian hands and a head on the little Anakin body.
hmm
With I mean that would be like boom easy. You know. Um, However, unfortunately, I think that you're going to have to make this figure because I don't think Hasbro is going to make it unless they have, you know, if unless they really start to do, the anniversaries for, the movie, the prequels and stuff like that, but they'd have to really hit it hard, but anyway, I would take it for sure.
Oh, totally.
Um,
Um, yeah, I think until we get
there you
back
go.
to like the Saga Legacy days where everybody was also getting a figure,
That's true.
Walt's
Yeah.
Walt's probably going to be, yeah.
And so I don't know what this character is, I guess.
So
Um,
this was the creature from Rogue One that
oh, is this the
they
thing that like mind
yeah, with the
control
mind
or
flayer
not?
kind of
Oh, okay,
thing.
okay,
It's
okay,
called the
gotcha. Boar gullet.
oh yes, thank you.
Okay, okay, I see now. I see. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
there weren't a lot of good pictures of
pictures.
this online, like of his full body. There were some
Gotcha.
of the ones where you see his tentacles around Bodhi, but
Yeah,
yeah, finding a full one was a little tough.
this one's from Bjorn. So hey, Bjorn. Um,
No, I think this is still one of Joel's.
oh, is it?
Um, yeah,
Okay, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, all right. I think this next picture is going to be from Bjorn, which I think everybody is
yeah,
definitely
Republic
for these
Commandos.
guys. You know. Um. So yeah, if I'm not
Oh, whoops.
mistaken, I
I might
think
have
they
pulled the wrong
made,
picture.
huh?
You're saying this isn't his, but I thought Republic Commando was on Bjorn's list. Maybe I'm got the wrong era of Republic Commando.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going off of pictures and
Oh, wait a
names.
minute. No,
Like
sorry. The
it's
Bo-
all good.
the Boar Gullet was not Bjorn's. This
Gotcha.
one, yeah, Bjorn's. Here we go.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, okay, I got you. So they did make a Scorch, in one of the previous, I think for maybe Revenge of the Sith or something like that. One of the last few waves, I think they did make a Scorch, but updated guys.
Hmm.
It's like they definitely need to update it, especially since they're going to be making the Bad Batch, figures. Like I think it's almost the same type of armor, more or less. So it's
Similar,
like,
yeah.
yeah, they could definitely make these guys, and people want them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they've been seen. They even had their own clone episode, from or
Hmm.
Clone Wars episode. So it's like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
video game that this came
yeah,
from. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, for sure, Black Series got some of them too, or all of them. But yeah, this one is a no brainer to me. It's like, why
oh
this
yeah.
droid hasn't been made yet? Um, it's kind of crazy.
Now,
But
didn't Rad do some 3D prints of this
yeah, Rad probably
droid?
has like 25 of these guys rolling around his station or his world. Yeah, he's made a crap load of them. Because I'm not mistaken, they're Old Republic, right? Yeah, the Old Republic. Well, this is a droid from the Old Republic as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? Um,
Not sure. I don't remember. I'm not as
yeah,
familiar with this.
yeah.
Droid.
But yeah, definitely this guy. Like they definitely made him a 6 inch. So it's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Rad, he made a killing. He made like a lot of these guys on his world. You can see him like all over the place. Um,
Peak Obi-Wan's
hey, what's
joined
going
us here.
on, Peak? Um, and so yeah, Darth Malik is great for this, figure. Like I said, they already made the figure in 6 inch, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like it could be an easy thing to do for the vintage collection.
Yeah,
Um,
Bjorn's got a good point here. We've already got the Revan, or well,
right.
most people have.
Well, we got two
It's a
Revans.
weird one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got the light and the dark. And they even have the droid that comes with the one of them. So it's like they could really, you know, yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
honestly, if a figure hasn't been released in the past 10 years, they definitely need to like update it and re-release it.
mm-hmm.
But
Or if
um,
a figure still has swivel hips, it's
yes,
time to
yeah.
update it.
Which it's like I don't mind it so much if they do that, saying, "Hey, we're just going to reissue the meat bag."
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like I don't mind it if they do it just to like, hey, we're getting these out for people who didn't get it, and maybe a few years from now, maybe we'll do an updated version. But it's like, you know, there's just so many figures
Yeah.
that are out there, and it's like, it's not just they want to make them all. It's like they want to make money, and so that's what's going to drive a lot of stuff because it's.
If you want to make money, don't pack Lando 3 to a box.
I
Just
mean, you're
just
not
saying.
wrong. You're not
Yeah,
wrong. You
he's
know,
a one-off. Like, put your troop builders 3 to a box,
I don't know,
and your
man.
Landos, you know,
It seems like
just
easy math, just
yeah.
whatever. Um, but yeah, Jason Solo. I think that's who that is,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. So anyway, yeah. Um. Like I said, I have not been collecting, for very long. I remember, I had a lot of older figures, you know, back in the day, when I like after a movie would come out or before it come out, I would sometimes buy figures, and I was mostly an inbox collector in those days because I was just keeping them just to having the package and stuff, and I was kind of collecting them that way, and so
Hmm.
I had a lot of different figures, and I ended up selling them all just because I didn't I was kind of getting out of action figures and stuff. But I do remember seeing a lot of these guys. Well, not really the past few guys, but I remember seeing a lot of the older figures on the shelves and stuff like that. Like I remember they had all the Force Awakens figures, not Force Awakens, the Force. What was that video game? Star
Force
Killer,
Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. They
Yeah.
had those a few waves of figures that they had all the like figures in the game. A Pirates. And so I remember, there was, I think they made a Jason and Jana solo in, figures, and they were like towards the end of their waves in like, I don't know, maybe it was Legends or Saga or something. It's like,
Yeah, I always get those mixed up. Which came
yeah,
first,
yeah,
Legends
I
or
don't know
Saga?
which ones, but it's like some of them they had to build the droids. It's like, man, I wish they would
Hmm.
still do that because it's like, that was an awesome thing at the time because you were getting those figures for almost like $8 and you were getting a figure plus a Build-A-Droid, piece. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
probably had like 15 different Build-A-Droids that you could build, throughout the whole run of those,
Oh
waves.
yeah. Well, and
But
plus, you could recolor them, and hey, it's another droid.
that's
So it's
right.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
droids are kind of like almost like, hey, here's another droid to fill out your world.
And
The
at the
easy
time, yeah,
sell.
especially because it's like I'm sure people who've been in the game for so long have all those droids to put together. That they were buying figures and stuff, and they put the droids
Hmm.
together. Um, yeah, the original 118 Black series. It's like I was at a store yesterday. I know I tell people this all the time, how there's like no stores and stuff here, but yesterday I went to a buddy's comic book store about an hour away from here, and that's where I grew up, and I found some goodness on the shelf. And so I
Nice.
didn't get any. I didn't get anything because I was just kind of scouting what he had
Hmm.
and stuff because it's changed. I hadn't been there in like a couple of years, and so there was some goodies on the shelf for the cheap. And the only reason I'm saying this is because nobody I know is going to be watching this, to where they're going to go down there and get them. So it's
Right.
like in a couple of weeks, I'm probably going to go down there and uh, pick up some of the stuff I saw, but some of the stuff was still
Before
like,
Joe Fast? I'm kidding.
yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I could honestly probably wait to after Joe Fest for some of this stuff because it's just been hanging and hanging. But it's like stuff that's like $6 and $7, and it's like stuff that's not sold anymore. Black
Hmm.
Series 118 stuff. Some of the movie figures from the past few years that had 2 packs and stuff. And so, I could probably get a better deal if I just wait, honestly. But yeah, Zuckus, man.
Oh
Um,
yeah, this was
did they make a Zuckus? Didn't they make a Zuckus in Vintage Collection yet, or have they not?
yeah, or at least I think so. I think that I know there was like a Zuckus and Forlom 2 pack, and some
Hmm.
people say that's what kicked off the vintage collection.
Okay. Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
debatable, and I don't really care to have that debate. But I mean, it's a pretty good figure, but he's still got the swivel hips. He's kind of
Gotcha.
short.
Yeah. I
Um,
got you. Yeah, we definitely. To me, it's like at this point in time, we need we need all the bounty hunters to have the best articulation they can have because those figures have that
so
movie came out what
apparently,
30 years
no,
ago.
they haven't. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, I
I'll,
know they had
I'll
a
let that on this.
forearm. I know they had a forearm that came out in the vintage collection. I think that was like way. It was like I think what you're talking about, Bob. It was like
Oh, here we go.
before the vintage
Retro
collection
collection.
came out
Yeah.
because it had like I think there was like a Greedo, a forearm. I think maybe a Sand Trooper. I mean, yeah, Sand Trooper, Tusken Raider, or whatever. That's what I meant. It's Tusken Raider, and
Okay.
I think there was a couple other figures that originally came out, I think before the vintage collection did. But anyway, all
Yeah.
right.
I was saying last Zuckus figure came out in '09, so
Okay, yeah, I know they
it
did
has
have
been a
a two
while.
pack of the retro Zuckus and Forlom, I think last year. Um, okay,
The one
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking about is probably for that '09 one because
yeah.
I've
Okay,
had them quite a while. Um,
yeah, for sure. This is from Resistance, right?
yes. I
From
don't have
Louis.
my notes with me, but somebody
It's
had sent in asking for like the background
yes,
characters.
yeah.
This
It's
was the best picture I could find,
Luigi
though.
Luigi Rosario 1227.
Oh, thank you.
I think is who picked that one out. Maybe. Um, And yeah, I
Yeah, I
never
wrote that
watched
down.
Resistance. I never watched Resistance, but I mean, I
I
did see
haven't
the
either,
figures.
but
I saw the figures on the pegs for a while, which um,
oh,
I mean, whatever. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
no
okay.
Zuckus. So they definitely need a Zuckus for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and if you're gonna do a Zuckus, do a Forlom, a new Forlom with like
oh, they need
uh
a Bosk
the
too,
belt,
because
the
I mean,
barbell.
the
Yeah.
Bosk has probably been 10 years probably since it came out, probably. Anyway, I mean, we could go all night about that, but
Oh yeah.
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 I'm down for, like I said, I never saw the Resistance show either, Bjorn, but I told my son, I
Yeah.
said, we're going to watch it at some point just because it's a Star Wars show. And, I think you can get inspiration from anything, you know. But we'll watch it because we watch all kinds of stuff anyway. Um, yeah, I
It's
mean, you
funny. Yeah.
know, it's one of those
I,
things where you may not have watched it or whatever, but it's like you know, being Star Wars, it's like you know, like I said, I remember seeing the figures on the
mhm.
shelf, but I was like, I wasn't watching it at the time. But then again, I wasn't watching Rebels at the time either because I want to say they had the Rebels figures and the Resistance figures out at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Um, okay, yeah, so this is a no brainer, right?
Oh
Um,
yes, we got a few requests in for the Bad Batch.
yeah,
So
I think yeah, this we could just hit this picture like 5 times or 20
hmm
times, and it's like people, you know, yeah, Bad Batch, yeah, exactly. You know, you know, we've been asking for these guys, you know, for years. You know, we finally
hmm
got a little bit
well,
of hope a couple years ago when we got Hunter. You know, and then
yeah,
we're like, all right,
Crosshair's been revealed, so
we
he's
got
coming at
Hunter.
least.
You know, we got Hunter. So it's like now they're going to start making them. And then for the next 2 years, they didn't make a single one.
Yeah.
And then they just released the, you know, I guess the, oh God, what's his name? The one that's coming out with, oh God, the
Crosshair,
sniper. What's his name?
Crosshair, Crosshair.
Crosshair. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no
I couldn't.
problem.
Yeah, so Crosshair is definitely on his way, and
hmm
so to me, I think that's cool. But it's like, um, uh, I can't wait to get. Is his name Tech? Or what's the guy's name with the glasses? I can't ever
Oh,
remember his name.
that's Tech. Yeah.
Tech. Okay.
Tech was, and then like yeah, then Echo with the
Yeah.
little droid
Yeah.
plug arm and
Yeah.
Wrecker.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it's like I can't wait till they make a tech because to me, of as far as like world building and stuff goes, I mean, yes, he's a part of Bad Batch, but it's like to me, I loved that figure in 6 inch just because it looked like it to me it looked like the most trooper figure that you could get. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had the little belt on. It's like I think you could do all kinds of like customizations with that guy. You know, he has the
Yeah.
helmet with the like the glasses or the whatever the you know the different you know glasses that comes down or whatever. Anyway, I just to me it's like I think that's you know yeah I agree Bjorn. It's probably gonna be in the
Yeah.
same body, which just to let you know when they do make that record, it's probably gonna be deluxe prices. So you know,
Oh, easily they're gonna force that.
FYI.
Uh,
Um,
if
yeah,
Hammerhead's getting deluxe treatment,
yeah,
then yeah, Wrecker's getting it.
yeah, for sure. Um, okay. Anyway, so yeah, so we could talk about this for the next 10 minutes, but yeah,
Yeah.
um,
I mean
the
this.
Bad
Yeah.
Batch. They need to
Yeah.
they need to make the Bad Batch. They need to
hmm
make you know, to me, it's like I would be down for all of. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So does anybody think since they're pairing creatures with figures, you know, from certain shows and stuff or movies or whatever, that we'll get that dog thing? You know what I'm saying?
I would think maybe if they did Omega, she'd be an easy one to pack in with the dog.
Yeah.
Just because
I agree
she's like
because
she'd be a smaller figure.
I almost feel like you know you're going to get those two in a box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, granted, if they do pack her in with the dog, then that's going to also bump that up to a deluxe.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian Batcher. That's right,
Yeah.
Batcher. But yeah, but so yeah, I agree. We need those. Hell, I would just take a C3PO at this point in time. You know,
Yeah.
with
Although
removable panels or not.
update, but with updated articulation, because
Yeah.
anyway, I'll save that for later.
Yeah. I think at some point he's got to be made because you know on the 6 inch they redid the R2 I think last year a couple years ago, but they've got the Luke Skywalker, they got the Princess Leia, they just revealed the Han Solo and the Chewbacca because you know they're
Mhm.
going to do them all on this new packaging, right? So anyway,
Gonky would
Gonky.
be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could. To me, it's like, when they said, when we say we would love to have Rhodians in different colors and stuff like that. I mean, we could have
Hmm.
Gonk droids in different colors. You know what I'm saying? They've
Yeah.
made a few different variations over the years, and to me, it's like, they don't have to be super articulated. Those things don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's
No,
like,
no, those, yeah.
you know, these would be cool.
Yes. I
Um,
believe it was a task force requested Night Sisters.
let's see here.
Task Force or Toy.
Yes, Task Force.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I think it also. Well, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe this was Toy Act or
Mm,
something. But yeah,
yeah. Sorry. Like I said,
yeah,
I made
it's
notes
all
and I
good. Yeah,
totally
it's
don't have them
what
with
it is.
me.
But yeah, for sure, the Night Sisters would be great.
Hmm.
Um, I get it. I mean, I feel like we had an opportunity last year when they made the Ahsoka show because of um, the reference to the Night Sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a good one too, man. Spider Mall, that would be a great one, and I wouldn't have no problem at all if that was like a deluxe figure, just because that one would be a sort of harder thing to do. But yeah, I would love the Night Sisters, man. I would do. They could make them. They've made some of the Knight brothers, in 6 inch, for like GameStop exclusives and stuff from
Yeah.
I guess those game versions that we're in or whatever. But for sure, Asajj, I would love to have Asajj from the Bad Batch version that she was in with the
Hmm.
short hair. To me, that's the Asajj that I want to get, is that one right there, because
I'm
I
not.
think she's a
I mean,
badass.
I'm happy that we're getting the one from the Clone Wars
Oh,
too.
me too, me
Uh,
too. You know,
uh, so
um, but yeah. So I guess somebody's wanting the pod race. I mean, the pod racer, the
the
speeder
speeder.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. They're definitely going to give you a Cobb Banth with this thing if they ever make this one, which it would be pretty easy to do if you ask me. Um, but well, whatever. I think it would be kind of cool. Um,
Oh, the
Yeah, I want to
Bowmore
say
monk.
they made a Night Sister in a figure format several years ago. I think it might have been a 2 or 3 pack or something. But it's like you don't. I mean, it's like, yeah. I was gonna say I don't think you have. I mean, it's not anything that's been updated. It's like that was before. I mean, that's probably been at least 10 years, at least, since those came out.
Yeah, and I
But
think
yeah.
I'm guessing they might have been. I think they might have been 5 POA. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure. It's possible, but yeah, Bomar Monk.
hmm.
Is that what Fat Red Food is saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bomar Monk. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, they made a figure of that in like one of the sagas or legends collections, But I think everybody would get this speeder.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be $50 probably, but I mean, it's as long as they don't cheap out on the paint apps and stuff like that, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, you're going to
Hmm.
get a Cobb Vanth, so it's like they've already got the figure, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
um,
Yeah, they're going to get their money's worth out of that mold.
oh man, speaking of Andor, this is the MVP right here.
Oh, this is one of my honorable mentions because
Yes,
unless they do it with like light and sounds,
yeah,
electronics built in, it's not really worth its own like carded
yeah, yeah.
figure. But
If you know,
just the
you
pack in
know,
with
is all I can
something.
say about this,
Yeah.
because that was an awesome scene for sure. But yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
so the three
Okay,
pack
Night Sisters.
was okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't remember because it's like I know I saw them, but it's like I don't think I bought it, or I don't know if I bought it or not. I'm not sure. Does anybody remember what 3 pack was? It maybe Darth
I
Maul,
know.
and a Night Sister or something like that. I'm not sure because I want to say it was something related to that Clone Wars episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
It might have been the
probably.
Clone Wars uh, animated style figure for that. Maybe I'm not real sure. Um, but yeah, um, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Okay, Maul and Savage and the Night Sister. Okay, I vaguely remember that, and I'm not even sure if I bought it or not, to be honest with you. Okay, just because it was so long ago, but because if I didn't have a Maul by then, I'm probably sure I bought that one, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this one I
This
guess is
is Sugi from the Clone Wars.
okay. Um, so yeah, like I said, I would be okay. So speaking of Clone Wars, and somebody was talking, I guess Chris was talking about Paul Krell. Man, I would love to get that spider against Admiral Trench or whatever. You know, the
Oh
spider in
yeah,
Clone Wars that the ship got destroyed, and then they ended up bringing him back later, and he was all like,
cybered
robotic.
up and
Like he had,
hmm
yeah, he had cybernetic arms and an eye and stuff like that. It's like to me, I mean, they never made that figure on Clone Wars, as in Clone Wars figures, and so to me, it's like Pone Krell and that figure right there were two that I wish that somebody would have made because to me, you know, they were just like I said. Pone Krell had a pretty good story arc, but the
hmm
Admiral Trench guy, I think he was dead within 10 minutes of the episode or something like that, and then they brought him back, and so uh, I don't. Yeah, I think they did a Grievous, but it was like
yeah,
in the vintage
yeah.
collection the first time around.
hmm
Like I guess during 2010 or 12 or somewhere around there because that vintage collection made a lot of figures. But I'll say this, I don't want to like be negative or anything. It's hard to make a Grievous, in 4 inch because
Oh
of the
yeah.
plastic. You know what I'm saying? The plastic is so not very strong and
Well,
stuff,
you,
and so it's like the extra arms and stuff. It's just hard to make like a good Grievous. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Um,
you say that, but like IG-11 has got the real spindly arms and legs, and Professor, what's his name from Ahsoka,
Yeah, yeah,
and the HG or HK-87 has got pretty spindly limbs. So I mean,
yeah.
they're getting
I
better
mean,
at the little limbs. So
I just would like a little bit more, a little bit more strength to them. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit
mm,
more. But I get it. I mean, we are talking about action figure toys. You know what I'm saying?
right, I
Um,
mean,
but yeah, I mean, I was just talking about that, Zaymont, about I remember seeing the Force Unleashed figures on the shelves and stuff like that, and like I said, it's like they've, you know, to me, it's like Hasbro wants to make money. They have a plethora that I think that's the problem with a lot of it is there's just so much to choose from. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's like they don't want to and they're so afraid to take a loss. You know what I'm saying on um, a figure or maybe even a wave of figures that they have to almost just play it safe. It seems like they play it safe 3 out of 4 waves. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
It's to me, it's because we're still getting we got the redo of I'm terrible with names, but the bounty hunter from the pod racer, that was taking shots, and she's got the
oh yeah,
gray head.
Aura Singh, I want to
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
To me, so they sort of redid that one, but it's pretty much the same figure. And then they did the guy with the walrus man in the cantina. God,
Yeah, Dr. Evazan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think they updated maybe the head sculpt on that one, but it's still got the legs from the old one. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's just so many, so many out there. Yeah, this one would be pretty cool though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, this is one I'd really like to see, especially. So I'll get into the updated articulation thing. Like all the droids at this point need the barbell hips.
yeah,
If
I agree.
if Professor Huying can get barbell hips, every droid, even protocol droids, need barbell hips at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
None of
Uh,
this. Oh well, all he does is shuffle around crap.
Yeah,
And these commando droids did not just shuffle around.
I know,
Clone
man. Those
Wars, they
commando
were all
droids,
over the place.
they were badass in the Clone
Hmm.
Wars. And it was like that was just, to me, it's like I could not wait, to get like some of those, and they were a step up better than I think the um uh battle droids, but I mean they were still, not too many steps in the right direction, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so this
Oh,
one would
Zero.
be, yeah, this one would be a no brainer. I mean, I feel like they could
Hmm.
do this one pretty easy.
And
Um,
again, updated hips. Just
yeah,
saying, it's time.
yeah, I
It's
get it.
time to, you know,
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, this one to me would be like a no brainer. I mean, it would be easy to do.
mhm.
Um,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
and this is like the Black Figure series,
yeah,
or Black series
series.
figure.
Yeah.
Can't talk today. So it's like, yeah, it's time to bring him, and really the whole rest of that gang from that episode of Mandalorian.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, one hundred
Time to
percent.
bring him in.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, but I mean, there's so many figures. I mean, they literally have probably 100 figures they could do from the Mandalorian that still hadn't been made
Hmm.
yet. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I agree, Lamont. It's just, it's, if this was 15 years ago, I think, and we were talking about this then, I think
Yeah.
we would have a good shot at a lot of this stuff. But everything is just, I mean, I know things were driven by sales in those days too, but it's just, there's a lot more stuff on the shelf these days, or not even on the shelf, that these figures have to compete with, and so pretty much it's mostly us who are buying these figures because kids don't know anything about those figures.
Yeah.
Um, it's us. It's the. I hate to say it, but it's the the original kids of Star Wars. We're the reason why most of the stuff is bought now. It's not new people coming into it. Because it's like,
Gotta be
um,
some, but
yeah,
it's
the
not a huge
majority
amount of
though
kids.
is the
Yeah.
majority is from people like us. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like,
Well,
you know,
and at like 16, 17, $18 a figure, how many kids have got that kind of money to spend? At least I
well,
know
I
as a kid.
mean, yeah, I mean, it just all depends on who's paying. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like for me, it's like if my kids were into it, I would definitely be buying them for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's because I was into that. Like I said, the reason why I'm into it is because my dad. He pretty much allowed me. He was the reason why I got. I'm into action figures and stuff. Is because he bought them. It's like if
Hmm.
he was one of those, parents are like, I'm not going to waste my money on these toys or whatever, or you've got enough of them. You only need a few. If he wasn't just crazy like me, and like, look, you got to have more than one bad guy. You got to have a bunch of them, and
Right.
so it's like, I wouldn't be doing this without him, his influence. But yeah, you got to have you know, something driving the people into stores to get it. And I mean, in these days, I mean, if you look at it right now, my Target doesn't even have any vintage collection on the shelf, and
Yeah.
Walmart has
Well,
just pretty much, clearanced out everything they had. And I still see, I'm about to liberate three Landos because they're down to $4.50 in the clearance section, and I'm just kind of waiting to see if they get one more clearance bump. And if they do, I'm probably gonna pick them up. Um,
yeah, my local Walmart still has Ahsoka and Fennec Shan on the pegs.
oh, really?
They get some new figures occasionally, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It's like we have. It's funny. It's like we have about six Landos, and then somehow, some way, a what was it? There was two figures that popped up. Oh, a TIE fighter pilot popped up the other
Oh, okay.
day, and another one. Oh, a rebel, like Hoth, rebel trooper or something popped up. And I'm like, how did these two guys? They must have found them in the back somewhere or something because
Probably, yeah.
it was like, how did these pop up? And so
That's why I'm assuming. Excuse me. That's what I assume happened with the Fennec Shan and Ahsoka because their cards are beat to hell.
oh yeah,
No
for sure.
collector's going to pick those
Yeah,
up unless they just want parts to
yeah, and
customize
I'll
them.
say this, yeah, Zaymon, I would say this that um, I mean, you definitely couldn't really give vintage collection figures to a kid that's like 6 or 5 or something like that because I think they would like, you know, I wouldn't say they would like destroy them, but they would definitely take a beating, with your little kids versus if somebody was 8, 9, 10, and knew a little bit more about having to, have a little bit more, I guess, I guess I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but anyway,
Well,
but yeah,
care.
I think we definitely need this figure in vintage collection.
Jackie.
Yeah, just because they've made almost all the rest of them. Oh, well, except for the stranger, I guess. But it's
Right. Yeah.
like,
Red Zippy.
yeah, I think like for me, I would definitely love this one because yeah, you would get this character, but also you'd have customs. You'd have
Hmm.
Jedi, customs that are females, and you could pop the head off and put all other kind of heads on there to make female, Jedi or whatever. And so I would definitely be down for this one. I mean, they made almost every other figure that was a main part of the
Yeah.
story.
The
Well, I mean,
Wookiee
but they
they also
haven't
haven't made yet.
they haven't Black Series though.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Well, yeah, that's
you
because
know,
Black Series gets all the characters.
So I mean, it's like I said, it's we may not get this figure, but to me, I think it would be easy for them to make just because
Hmm.
I
I mean,
don't
she's
know.
not that much different than some of
Yeah, I
the
think
others. So,
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's I would definitely get the figure. I know there's a lot of people who would. I mean, I know everybody has their feelings about how the acolyte story was or whatever, but honestly, as far as like getting them for customs or just because they made the figure, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be.
mm,
Well, I'll tell you what, Rad. You let me know if you start seeing them going next to nothing because I will take all of the souls that I can find if I could get them at a clearance price because to me that's I think I've got my next storyline coming up at some point where I'm using that buck and I'm calling him a light bringer, and so I'm going to have those as sort of my Jedi for my world. And so, anyway, I would definitely, I've been customizing those for the past couple months and I've been stockpiling a few of those souls. So if anybody needs a soul head or something, I have probably about, I don't know, 10 of them at this point in time. They're just in a box.
yeah.
So,
I will
anyway,
say, along with the Zaymont here, yeah, the Fresh Monkey Fiction Eagle Force figures are a lot more sturdy.
I wouldn't let my six
Than
year old
than it.
play with. I wouldn't let I don't think I'd let my kids play with my fresh monkey fiction figure though. That's
Yeah,
you're brave. You're a brave man for that. But
yeah, they
uh,
are a little hard to replace.
yeah, I was gonna
Whereas,
say you can go buy some of these Star Wars figures for $16. You can't just go to the shelf and buy another Eagle Force figure.
yeah, at least
Um,
currently. Hopefully that'll be fixed one day. But
well, I think a lot of people have been doing that, Joel. I'm just trying to
hmm
um,
yeah, for
do
me the
some,
Acolyte figures are parts.
yeah,
Um,
I'm trying to do some cool stuff in my opinion of that. Oh, speaking of cool figures, this is Bob's choice for
mhm, like
figures.
the whole group.
Yeah.
Well, and this would be like a really pretty easy one for Hasbro to do because you've got a clone trooper, a Mandalorian. and an astromech in the group, and like all three of those are just repaints. Just
Yeah.
repaint them. You've got the figures and all that already. The team leader guy sitting there, you could probably kit bash him and just put a new head on the figure. And same with the Jedi there. It's a little hard to see in this picture, but he's got his head's like the two tubes, except
Hmm.
he just doesn't have the tubes. So
Right. Right.
you
Right.
kit bash a Jedi body, put that new head on there, and then that gets you also
There
on the
you
way
go. Yep.
towards making two tubes. And then
Yep.
this last guy, I forget what planet he's from, but he was like a uh, one of the. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know, but he was from the Clone Wars. He was on that like weird planet where the Ponkrell storyline happened. He was one of the CIS troopers, but not
Oh, okay.
robots.
Yeah. 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 That's cool.
So he would take a
I'm
whole new.
borrowing.
He'd probably take a whole new uh, build, but you could then repaint him as a troop builder for Clone Wars fans. So,
Right. Right.
oh,
Right.
here we go. I
Yeah.
believe
I'm
this is
borrowing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a pretty dark storyline. By the way, Joel, I
yeah,
appreciate you saying that earlier. Um, but yeah, I think these would be. I mean, honestly, you could make all kinds of figures um, with Star Wars figures. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? All you would need to do is just head swap some figures. You know what I'm saying? And it's like to me, it's like it's the perfect opportunity for them to like. You know, I mean, they could just honestly make two or three waves of just background characters. And I'm not
yeah.
saying to release them all at once or something like that, but it's like I think the
Just
background
sprinkle them
characters,
in.
yeah, you sprinkle them in. It's to me,
Mhm.
it's like I don't know. I just think that if I
Well,
was
and
going to work for
especially,
Hasbro or if I owned it, you know, and I was the fan that I am, of course, yeah, I know they're like,
yeah,
hey, we got to make X dollars or whatever, but it's like it's not like we're asking for, you know, every wave to be bangers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be
right.
great, but we're not asking for that. We're just asking for, you know, keep making figures that haven't been made yet, you know, or update figures that need updated, being updated. And
Mm.
so I would love, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see it, but I would be ecstatic if one day I like walked into Walmart or Target or even had the opportunity to buy something from Amazon. It's you just see a figure and it's in a vintage collection package and it says Rhodian. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's just a different colored Rhodian with just some street clothes on or something like that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Well,
like
and especially with the Cantina coming out, it's like people are going to want to fill their cantina up with
that's right.
patrons. I mean,
Yep.
because in the movie it was like packed up in there.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
So,
like just we are starving for those type of figures because it's like we would
mhm.
we will make them if we have to, but we would love to be able to buy them. You know what I'm saying? You know, as
Yes,
just it's like creatures are a part of Star Wars universe, and it's like that's one of the reasons why people love it as much as they do. It's just because yes, I
yeah,
agree,
you're on
one
spot
hundred
on here.
percent.
And one of the comments we got for the show was asking for like head and hand packs,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
also like weapon accessory
Yeah.
packs.
I mean, honestly, I mean, it's like, yeah, that's a super easy thing to do if you
Hmm
ask me. Except, here's the thing: you would have to almost know or requisite as okay, you may have to do some surgery for with these parts to make them fit specific figures because we know that Hasbro their head and joint systems are a little bit different from figure to
Yeah,
figure. But
it's getting a little better, but yeah, it's
right.
still kind of.
But it would be still great to be able to have like a force hand, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm
just give us some generic force hands, you know what I'm saying? And we can make them work, you know what I'm saying for that. I mean, it's to me it's just not, it's not, rocket science,
Yeah,
Um
Bjorn, you're spot on there. Yeah, they're not universal yet. Like I
but
said,
you can
some of
still
the
make them
recent
you can still
figures,
make them work. I mean, we can make them work, you know what I'm saying? It's
right?
like, anyway, whatever. All
But they're
right,
not
well,
just. super pop and swap yet.
Yes.
Like I said, they're getting better, but
Yeah.
anyway, yes, this
So yeah,
this is a figure I'd love to
these are gonna
see.
be my 5 picks right here. And I know technically we had this figure in the Clone Wars animated style, but we really need him in a vintage collection, honestly. I mean, this is
Hmm.
one of my favorite figures, or my favorite characters from the Clone Wars. I love Savage Opress. He's like one of my favorites. I was lucky enough to have one of those before I started world building, and I basically just took the head off and started putting it on different bodies and stuff because I really didn't
Hmm.
care about having a Savage Opress, animated figure in my world. But it's like I put it on a couple of Acid Rain figures. I put it on a Eagle Force figure
Hmm.
body, and they fit, and it just looks so good, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So and I'm fine if they do it on Vintage Collection it's going to be a deluxe figure. It's just whatever. At this point in time, I don't even care anymore. It's like just make the figure, I'll buy it, and whatever. But
Mm.
yeah, this
Well,
one is
and
one of them.
updated articulation.
Yeah, this is
This guy
one of them I
definitely
would
needs it.
love to have right here. Is this one? Um, this one, I know
Oh yeah.
I know people would buy this figure. They made a 5 POA version of this, but this to me is one of my favorite troopers that they have ever made in all of Star Wars. If you like, the regular cop type troopers, I mean, he is perfect. He even has a little baton and a little pistol. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Hmm.
um, just what I'm saying, just anyway. It's funny you mentioned Garandon Zaymot because I was actually that one almost squeezed into my top 5 just because we need a vintage collection version of that one.
Well,
But
even this
anyway,
trooper, they could release him like a carded version, and then again with his speeder bike.
100%.
Yeah,
And you know what? I
they'll
wouldn't be
double
mad
money
if they
on that.
did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I wouldn't be mad. I know the tricks they're gonna pull on us, and I'll be fine with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
I would definitely buy one, in a single package, and I would definitely buy one when they came with because those are world building figures right here. You could have,
Yep.
5 to 10 of them in your world if you wanted to, and so
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Jedi Temple Guard would be a good one too.
I've got
Um,
a crowd control squad in my Imperial army, and this guy would slot right in. A
yeah,
couple of them, like just on foot, and then a couple more on speeder
yeah,
bikes.
yeah. And so what's funny is the Clone Wars animated show. Of course, they introduced a lot of characters,
Hmm.
and man, they made a lot of characters. I mean, they went pretty deep, into the show, and they made figures that honestly, yeah, I mean, it's like they made a lot of figures on the Clone Wars animated show, and so to
Hmm.
me, it's like I would love to see that type of you know diversity in the vintage collection going forward. I mean, they're doing a good job with some of the figures they're coming out with, and like I
Yeah.
said, I know it's hard for us, to be excited all the time, when we see a few re-releases here and there, but um, I mean, if they made them all, it'd be game over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we gonna collect then? You know what I'm saying? It's like we've got to, it's the journey kind of the deal. It's like they're not gonna make them all in like one small amount of time, and so we just gotta hope they make some of the ones we really want.
Well, and
Um,
also now there's a lot more Star Wars media to pull from.
that's true.
So
That's
getting
true.
back around to some of that older stuff is just going to take a little time.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of those like prequel trilogy Jedi aliens.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, me too, man. Me too. I
I
mean,
mean,
they've already made them. It's like they just needed to like update them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like but yeah, from Attack of the Clones, like when all of them were in their arena,
Hmm.
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I put a Ned B out here just because I would love
Nice.
to have a more articulated Ned B. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, not Ed B. Because it's like you've seen Timbo toys, paint them up in different ways. And so to me, it's a good like security droid. It's a good like worker
Maintenance.
droid. So I mean, you could definitely have him in a lot of different you know formats, and you could paint him up if you wanted to. And so yeah, man, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. And by the time, because it basically started out as a kids show, and it was
Mhm.
it was kind of long and kind of hard to watch at times because it was made specifically for kids. But when it turned, it was like must see TV. If
Mhm.
you're a Star Wars fan, because it brought the drama, man, and it's like it did a lot of callbacks, and it got dark, and so it was an awesome show. And let's see here.
Yeah. Matter
Yes.
of physical.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember a
Come on,
while back.
man. Come on, man. I
I
mean, come
remember a
on.
while back somebody did like a custom pack of like two
Yeah.
like charred skeletons and
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Here's Uncle Owen Aunt Brew 2-pack. Yeah. Yeah.
with a,
Those hottest Star Wars couple. You're right, Bjorn. You're
for a few
right.
minutes at least.
That's right, man. Um, yeah. That was okay. Oh, anyway.
Oh, Pelly.
So
But
this is probably one of my second most figures I kind of want made, just because I mean, you know, I want I want all the figures from the Mandalorian. That's what kind of got me back into collecting. Hey, Javon. That's what kind of got me back into collecting was
mhm.
Acid Rain and the Mandalorian, and so it was like I would love to get her, and so to me, it's a no brainer. You get her, two pit droids, a deluxe, deluxe, you know, figure price, whatever. I'm fine with that, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
And people are agreeing, like her and pit droids.
yeah. So to me, that's Mandalorian right there. You got the N1. It's like you got Grogu, you got
Mhm.
you know 15 versions
Yeah.
of the Mandalorian.
And
I
you got the
agree.
R5D4, I think, type
Yeah,
droid.
yeah. I mean, you got almost everybody in the thing. It's like you need to get her. She's an MVP. She needs to be made. Um, my last one is a yeah. I've seen people that have made her. I think Angus, Lord of Thane, made one too. I'm
Mhm.
just not gonna make it because I just I'm waiting for Hasbro to make it. So my last pick is an army builder, and it's kind of in the same it's in the same timeline. And Black Series has already made one, and I just think we gotta have it. They need a 4-pack, or I'll take singles and a 4-pack, whatever. But
Mhm.
the Pikes, we gotta have the Pikes.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need some
Yeah.
bad guys that can be in Tatooine, that can be in your worlds. They're the crime syndicate. They sell spice. Ian, you're right.
Mhm.
It's like it's a no-brainer. It's like we need these guys. Put them in a
Yeah.
4-pack with one of them that's like the commander unmasked or whatever. Without the I guess the breathing thing or
Apparatus thing.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But make it so. I mean, we've got one in Black Series. He's been out for maybe a year or so. It's like, let's go with these. Gotta have them. To me, it's a no brainer.
Mhm.
We need more bad guys. We need more bad guy army builders because we don't have enough. You have your stormtroopers and stuff like that,
Oh, oops.
but it's we need more
Jimbo.
bad guys. Hey Jimbo. Um, so yeah, it's just to me, it's a make it so. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
So
It's
say we all.
yeah.
It's
We just want them made, and
yeah.
so I think that would be a great figure to add. I've been waiting, for them to drop this figure, at one of the next couple of toy streams or whatever, live streams or whatever, that I think, um, you know, I don't know. It's just hard to. It's like if we had a dartboard with all the Star Wars figures on there that we want made, it's like it's just hard to see like which one they're going to go with. We could spin a
Mhm.
wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune or something. We could spin that wheel and have
Wheel
all
of
the figures
Media,
on there
which
we
one
want.
will we do next?
Yeah, and it's like, you pull one out, you pull the name off that one, you replace it with another one. It's like we just,
Mhm.
anyway, but yeah, I just
Well,
think that,
yeah, but
you
in
know,
a way, it's good that we've got so much media to pull from now.
yeah,
It's just kind of sucks having to be patient enough to
right,
wait for them to get around to, because in back in the Saga Legacy days, again, these have been out already.
right,
You'd have like, but the and I remember back then, like the Star Wars section at Walmart was like, big huge section, like 4 or 5 pegs wide, and then all the
right,
way down. And
yeah,
now it's just not that much space anymore. I don't
yeah.
know if it's because they're cluttering it with like too many other like Black Series and Epic Hero and
Well,
all that,
there
or
is a lot of Star Wars stuff like at Walmart, but the stuff that I would collect is just in one little row. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's just the rest of
same
it is
here.
just kind of noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I don't really even count on Target or Walmart anymore. I just
yeah,
pre-order
yeah, I do too. I
everything,
mean, I buy
and if I see
99%
them,
of it
yeah, if I see them on the store and
online.
it's like a troop builder, like I picked up a couple of extra stormtroopers just because,
Yeah,
hey, there's stormtroopers on the
yeah.
shelf. I can
I'm gonna
actually
tell you,
buy Star Wars in the store.
honestly, I would love to be able to go to the store and buy Star Wars figures.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
that would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's like I would love to be able to do that.
Well, I mean, I
However,
used to make
yeah,
up needing to make trips to Walmart just to do that. It's like,
that's exactly right.
oh,
Yeah,
it's like,
I used to run to Walmart, Target just to see what the toy section looked like. And
yeah,
I would usually buy a toy when I went there just because.
you didn't want
Anyway,
to be empty-handed,
that's right. Yeah, I mean,
So
and
fun.
it's whatever. But so yeah, this is the end of the slideshow, guys. So here's the thing. Next week, next Sunday is May 4th,
Mhm.
and we're gonna do a. I mean, I don't know if I timed it right or wrong, but next week we're gonna have a Star Wars episode on May 4th, and maybe we will have some Star Wars reveals for you. I mean, it's you know, crossing fingers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'd be
It is
nice.
going to be May
And
the 4th, and it's like how can Hasbro not do anything for May the 4th? So I have a feeling they'll probably do some kind of stream on, I don't know, Friday, I guess maybe, and I don't know if they do them on the weekends or not. Um,
I would imagine for May 4th they would.
okay, maybe they
'Cause,
will.
that's
Maybe they
like a
will.
big, like,
Yeah,
Star Wars
I mean,
holiday.
May the
Yeah.
4th is a huge day now. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyway,
It's got T-shirts and everything.
yes, for sure. I mean, last year I think I ran a race, a 5K, and it was based on May the 4th be with you. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and I
Yeah.
know, like I said, there's a lot of figures out there that we want, to get made, and so
Mhm.
all we can do is just, speak up about which ones we want made, and that's one of the things that after Joe Fest is over. Um, I'm hoping maybe we can, have a secret handshake with some of the higher ups, on some of the Facebook groups, and maybe get them a little bit more involved in, for us to get involved with them, and maybe can um, maybe have some, I don't know, some official talks and stuff about Star Wars and vintage collection and stuff like that. But
That'd be nice. Yeah.
that's just on the down low right now. Anyway, but yeah, thanks for everybody coming out tonight. Appreciate everybody watching the show as always. I appreciate people. If you can't watch it tonight, if you can watch it on a replay,
We
that's
love you
always,
too.
yeah, we love you too. That's great.
And
Uh,
if you like what you saw, give the little like button a tap there. And
yes,
while you're
please.
down there, maybe subscribe as well.
Yes, please, please, please. I normally will subscribe to anybody that I see that has subscribed to my channel. So it's like if you have a YouTube page and you subscribe, I normally do it right back. You know what I'm saying? Just because.
Same here,
Um,
especially on Instagram.
oh yeah, for sure, do it on Instagram. I follow if you got anything toy related, I'll follow you if you follow me on there. Um, Bob, you got anything that you want to mention before we get out of here?
I do want to give a shout out to our friend Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. Today's his birthday, so
Oh,
happy
that's right.
birthday,
Happy
buddy!
birthday, Will. Yeah. He did a special like I think 10 a.m. show this morning or 11 a.m. show, and
Yeah, I
I
thought it
was
was
like,
going to be.
"Whoa!" I said,
Oh,
"What's Will doing on this time?" And so I was right in the middle of like cooking breakfast, and I was like, I was sort of listening to some of that while I was like making breakfast. I made a late breakfast this morning, so
it's fine.
um,
It's Sunday. Sleep in.
that's right. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, I totally missed it because it was like I thought it was going to be at his usual time, and had my alarm set to let me know. Oh, hey, time to.
yeah,
And
right.
then pop on the
But
YouTube, and it's like it's already done. What?
but I guess before we wrap it up, so don't forget our friends Pirates and Rad do their show on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Whip Wednesday Live. I always forget whatever the exact name of the show is. I know it's either the Whip Wednesday Live or the Wednesday Whip Live. I can't remember what the name. It's
Uh, I think it's Whip Wednesday.
Whip
I
Wednesday.
think
Okay,
Wednesday second. Yeah.
so they do their shows on Wednesdays, and then um, Toy Dominations on Thursday. Good friends
Mm-hmm.
with Dom. And then the World Makers Consortium on Fridays. And we're right
Yep.
in the
Yep.
middle of the death race right now. So just a couple more weeks, and that will be into the championship rounds, I would guess. But
Oh yeah, and you don't want to miss those because they're pretty brutal death races. They
they
live
are
up
they
to
are
the
they
name.
are death races. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, well, thanks for everybody watching, and we will see you guys next week. So
Yep. Take it
have a good
easy,
week.
everybody.
Yep, have a good week, and we'll see you next time.